Welcome to Google Docs, where I do short documentaries on a variety of people from information gathered from Google. I don't know anyone's story aside from what I can find online, of course, so I will do my best to report only on things about their lives that are true and quotes or interviews from them directly. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Charley Reid Show with your host, Charley Reid. Although Kelis is a successful artist in the music business and an accomplished chef, amongst other endeavors, she has recently become a hot topic because she is having a public dispute about a song of hers that was used on another artist's new album, Beyonce, without a courtesy call or a heads up from her former producer, Pharrell of The Neptunes. But before I cover that story, I thought it would be interesting to find out more about Kelis, not just as an artist, but also as a person. Kelis Rogers is an American singer born in Harlem, New York on August 21st, 1979. Her name is a combination of her father's name and her mother's name. Her father's name was Kelis Rogers, and her mother's name is Kelis Rogers, hence the name Kelis. She entered high school at the age of 14, and she attended New York's Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and Performing Arts, where she learned to play the saxophone and eventually won a spot in the Girls' Choir of Harlem. Kelis graduated from high school in 1997, but she was kicked out of her home at 16 for bad behavior. And as many young people do, she worked a variety of jobs before she obtained a backup vocal slot on an album track called Fairy Tales, released by the American hip-hop group Gravediggers. She then began working with music producers Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo, known as the Neptunes, which resulted in her getting signed to Virgin Records in 1998, just a year after graduation. Kelis has released 6 studio albums, 2 with Virgin Records: Kaleidoscope in 1999, Wonderland 2001, Tasty 2003, Kelis Was Here 2006, Flesh Tone 2010, and Food 2014. Kelis was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards for Best Urban Alternative Performance for the song Milkshake in 2004, and Best Contemporary R&B Album for her 4th album, Kelis Was Here, in 2007. She was also nominated for 2 Billboard Music Awards in 2000, including Best New Artist Video for Caught Out There. At the New York Music Awards, Kelis won all 3 nominations that she received, including Best R&B Video and Best Dance Single for A Cappella, and Best R&B Album for Flesh Tone. She was also named the Best Solo Artist at the Glamour Awards in 2004. Kelis was raised in the Frederick Douglass Houses in Harlem, New York. Her father, Kelis Rogers, was an African-American jazz musician, a Pentecostal preacher, and was formerly a professor at Wesleyan University. Her mother, Kelis Rogers, is a Chinese-Puerto Rican fashion designer. Kelis is the 3rd child born of 4 girls. Kelis married fairly early in her career to the highly successful hip-hop artist Nas, and they share 1 child together. They met in 2002 at an MTV Awards show, and it's been reported that Nas acted like he didn't know who Kelis was when he first met her. According to Distractify.com, quote, Kelis was the one who made the first move, as Nas reportedly pretended he didn't know who she was. However, the Uchiwali rapper soon showed Kelis how much he wanted to be with her. Everyone moves out of the way, and Nas stands up, and I put my hand out, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Kelis," Kelis recalled to Vibe magazine. And he goes, "Who?" So I'm crawling into a blank hole, and he's like, "Wait, huh? What's your name?" And I'm like, "Kelis." And he's like, "Oh, well, that's great, because I've been waiting to make you my wife all these years." They fell in love quickly, and Kelis and Nas were actually married before their public wedding ceremony. But their public wedding date and ceremony was on January 8, 2005. They were a beloved couple in the industry and were married for 9 years. Kelis was already on her 3rd album when she married Nas, so even though he was well established and respected as a rap artist in the music industry, Kelis had made her mark as well and had received awards for her musical talents, although some people believe Nas made her famous unfairly. Kelis talked about her relationship with Nas in an interview with Jason Lee years ago. and stated that she wanted to do that interview unedited because apparently she hadn't been completely transparent in the past, and rightfully so. Here are some short audio clips from that very revealing interview with Jason Lee.
We fell in love, we really did, and we fell quickly, so, and because if we're similar in any way, it's that we're both like shut out the world, and we're both really good at that. So we like hibernated, and it was just him and I for a long time, and and that was better. I think it's when people, and opinions and everything else that came, that it started to, it wasn't good ever, but it definitely progressively got worse.
Wait, so the relationship was never good?
We had like really intense highs and really intense lows. It was never normal. So
what would an intense high look like?
An intense high would be like money was rolling in. We were young too. Like people don't. I was 22 when I met him. I was a baby. So like we were drinking too much, smoking too much. We were too much. We were spending too much. I mean, we were balling out of control. Like it was all just too much. And like we lived hard, and so because of that, like when that comes down, it goes really low. Like as low as possible. So it's hard, because there's no balance. There's no like normalcy. And I think, to our credit, Nas got famous really young, and I signed my first deal at 17. We were really young, and like, just, there were so many things against us, like beyond all the other personal stuff and all the stuff that went wrong with us. Like, if you look at it on paper, like, it was hard anyway, you know what I mean? Like, and then we were in the public eye, and then the kind of artist that we were. He was no pop star. I was no pop star. Like, we were artists. Like, it was tumultuous and toxic so often because it was this constant, like, I don't know, like this, which I didn't tension. Realize that was going to happen. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen.
But the tension, what do you think created that?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think that I was really naive. I was madly in love, and so I took a lot that I shouldn't have taken, and that I generally, just on my character, it's not my character at all. It was all awkward. It was.
Are you talking about the infidelity?
That, it's funny, because someone asked me, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but that wasn't it. I didn't file for divorce because he cheated. He'd been cheating for 2 years, and I knew that. It was because on top of all the other stuff, then you're gonna cheat? Okay, this is too much. Like, this is too much. And then it was really toxic, and I was pregnant, and so at 7 months pregnant, I was terrified. I was like, I cannot bring a person into this. This is a freaking mess. Like, this is a mess. And I can't control this. I gotta get out.
So you left while you were pregnant?
Yeah. I filed for divorce in April, and Knight was born in July.
Wow. So what was an intense low? Like, what was the lowest point in your marriage?
We had a lot. I mean, honestly, like, if I were to really tell the stories, I couldn't write, like, it was that crazy. Like, it was dark. It was really dark. Like, there was a lot of drinking. There was a lot of just mental and physical abuse. And it just got to the point where I think for me, God is so good because being pregnant, I probably would have stayed longer had I not been pregnant. Because I really did love him, and because we were married, we weren't dating, we were married. Like, this was my person, and I really felt like...
Did you feel he was your soulmate?
I did at the time. I did. I don't know that I believe in that now, but I don't know that means it's right. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, it shouldn't hurt like that.
So when you say verbal and physical abuse, he hit you?
We would fight. So I never, like, just sat there, but we would definitely fight.
Unfortunately, rumors were circulating that there was infidelity in their marriage towards the end, and in March of 2009, a sex tape was released of Kelis and another rapper named Infrared. Wendy Williams claimed to have the full tape in her possession. However, Kelis confirmed that the tape was made before her relationship with Nas. I personally think it is malicious to release private, intimate encounters of anyone, famous or not. Kelis filed for divorce in April of 2009, and her divorce was complete in 2010. According to Distractify.com, quote, Nas responded to Kelis's Hollywood Unlocked interview 5 months after it aired. He left a 7-page statement on his Instagram refuting his ex-wife's claims. Quote, I do not beat women, Nas wrote, per Billboard. I did not beat up my ex-wife. Stop, end quote. That is just a small snippet of his response to Kelis about their marriage and their custody issues regarding their son. Both have moved on since their divorce, and Nas has dated a few celebrities but remains single, and Kelis married Mike Mora in 2014 and had 2 children with him. Unfortunately, Mike Mora passed away in March of 2022 from stomach cancer. Bloopers. This means that even though Kelis's original form of milkshake, what?